Hello everyone and welcome to High Playing Games. Simon here, and this is Astraeus, a game that has been released by E. McNeil. Now E. McNeil is already known to this YouTube channel because earlier in the year I reviewed another game of his called Tactera, which took the RTS genre, put it in VR and kind of mixed it with Risk, dare I say. Previously done Darknet before and I've not played Skylight, but yeah, this developer has a very specific theme of putting you into like a highly sci-fi world, placing you in a VR environment with something in front of you or around you to deal with stuff. And this one is all about mining planets, and depending on what your missions is through the campaign mode or through skirmish or through multiplayer as well, you will either need to mine a certain amount of finitum or wipe out all of your enemies depending on what you've got. So I'm going to start off just a normal skirmish to explain to you exactly how things are. AI can be aggressive or greedy or just normal, we'll keep with standard. Their speed can be slow, fast or normal, we'll keep it as normal. And you can have up to 3 other enemies on your game board at one time. I'm going to keep the game size as medium just because I don't want it to go through lulls in gameplay, which this game doesn't necessarily do. But once I've explained to you how the game works, I don't want to keep you hanging around. In the game itself, you'll be surrounded by planets. So you'll start off with an asteroid in the middle for you to deal with. You have 4 different types of things that you can do to that planet. You can turn it into a power station, which then gives you power that will feed out to everywhere else. You will then be able to go to different asteroids and decide what you want to do with them. And some asteroids have specific powers or abilities. A factory produces droids for you to then start moving those droids. Can you see? Let me just use WASD to move in slightly. Can you see there's these little arrows that are now going back and forth? They're essentially your spaceships to then go over and take asteroids that you don't already have and move them into a new place to take over that specific asteroid. So they'll kind of keep going for the time being. Now the idea with this is that you can slowly but surely take over other places and start expanding your environment, making more power stations, which then produces power for you to mine more finitum to get to 200 first. You can see the other 2 haven't started yet. And yeah, depending on where you're going and what you're doing, let's do a power here actually as well. And what I'm going to do is make that a factory as well, because it's a chunky one. And so what you're going to do with the factory is decide where you want asteroids to... Oh, I don't want you to go there. I want you to go to that one. Thank you. Will they do it? No, they won't. Anyway. Right, so that asteroid will now go to there. There we go. Thank you very much. So what I'll just do is go there, that can then go to there. We'll get there eventually. So they're going the long way round, but essentially we'll now be sending so much stuff here that they'll have stuff to do. This is now an asteroid that we can think of adding. Let's go for another mine. But we just need to make sure that we've got enough power going to it. That's only got 33% power. That's quite well powered. We will mine that one as well. And what I want is for this one in the middle here as a level 2 to be another power. Power ones are really, really great in the middle of like a... because essentially you can see the little lines that are coming out. That will help you power everything around. So you can see it's running at 67% power. others still haven't even started with Finitum. They're probably building up their resources to come and attack me, to be fair. Right, so what we're going to do is push our little friends down this way. So we're pushing things elsewhere, and this one is an S-type asteroid, which reveals the planet around us, which is going to be useful because it will send out a distress, and you can see that's pushed out more of the map for us to understand and get to grips with. So I'm going to go for a factory there, and let's keep pushing. That's struggling for power there. But I want to see if this connects back up again. If it doesn't, that's annoying. So I'll stick a power there because that's kind of all on its own at the end. And we might as well, just for luck, kick this off here. Ah! There we go. This is the join up. Nice. So this Aspasia android will be a really good one to have as a power as well, because that powers 1, 2, 3, 4. So we've got kind of powers on back to back, but that'll be mega helpful. And let's go straight for this level 2 asteroid. If our competitors are around this two-way, this is going to give us plenty of room to expand. And what we'll have to look at doing is fortifying our defences this way later on. But what I find is really helpful is pushing all of our resources around different ways. But if we want to break this chain off, which I won't do yet. That feels like that should be a power. And then what I'm going to do is we'll start pushing up so that that one becomes a factory. And then we'll do mines around it, I think. Yeah. Oh, there we go. Their finitums are now getting up and going. Thankfully we're going faster at the moment. But yeah, now we need to work out where we're going. So this is an M-type, so that's a mining type asteroid, so this will be really good for us to have, because that means that it will mine at 3 times the speed, so it makes sense to go there for that. Once that's converted, let's start pushing people out to here. And look, we're going to now need to start thinking about how do we defend. So what I'm going to do is start pushing oh, hello. Yeah, now we're going to get attacked from both sides. So I want to push these lot here. Because look, at that whole back and forth. So there's a couple of things that we're going to need to do here. So the first one I'm thinking is actually, can we do a stronghold? Oh, there's another mining one there. And what I'm going to do, just because we're getting towards the end of the level, I'm going to put a cannon in there, because a cannon will start shooting stuff at neighbouring areas, and then we're going to go attacking. So we're going to start pushing all of our people there. They're now going for us, so we may gain theirs. Oh, they're going to get... Ah, they've got us. We're not strong enough, and now they're going for us on this side. So we might be fine with infinitum for now, but we're going to get absolutely mullered. So we need to... Let's go to here. Let's make that a factory. What else have we lost? Oh, we've lost that one over there now as well. So you can see whatever we're producing is not good enough. So this is only at 25% power. Let's see if we can take this back. I don't think we've got enough. But with this specific mood, look, we're losing stuff. We may have been aggressive enough quickly, or quickly aggressive enough to be able to keep this going and get to 200 before they do, but they're closing us down. We're not making a dent there. So you can then go and start changing stuff about. So if we like that, oh, that's staying as a mine. Ooh, what else have we lost? We've lost that one now. So here I'm quite happy to change this one to a factory. That power can now go to a factory as well, because we've kind of lost this section now. But I think we were so aggressive early on, we were okay because the speed of everything's fine. But yeah, look at how we just now can't go because we're being truncated from either side. Yeah, we're buggered. So let's start pushing stuff this way, because this whole ability to survive is going to be around this power. Although I think we're going to hit 200 first and we'll be okay. We just need to keep our mines going for a little bit longer.
Mission accomplished.
Done it. Whew. So, essentially, the bigger the map, it starts to grow all the way around you as you go. So there's different tactics you can take. You can all just go nuts for trying to get to a certain amount of Finium first, or you'll have a destroy everyone, in which case you don't build mines. You're building cannons to defend your outer wall, and then as you spread out further, you can start changing those into power stations or factories to build more of your aggressive ships to send stuff out, which is wonderful. It's a really simple on-the-nose RTS. Reminds me so much of the game Mushroom Wars, which I know is a 2D and you're sending little cute monsters at each other, but you are just firing things back and forth. But the key difference between the Mushroom Wars game, which is like RTS in 5 minutes, against Astraeus that we've seen today, is that whole almost like doing train track effect, where you need to guide your ships around a network, almost like you're playing Ticket to Ride. And that's a really unique mechanic, because all it took for my whole network to fall down was for them to infiltrate me from the sides and chop my network off, because I was busy pushing stuff around in one line. If you're savvier and more strategic than me, you'll be able to do lots of different lines. I just want to run it quickly, and I hope this will pop up. Dang it, you won't do it. So the campaign mode, essentially you play with different sectors, doing different missions as you go. A little mini robot who reminds me of Wheatley from Portal 2 comes out and gives you jibes from other planets. And your colleagues for going off and drilling stuff. It's done in good humour, very good writing, and I appreciate that as well. So yeah, this is Astraeus. It's available now in VR and non-VR. I don't have VR, so I can only show you the non-VR mode, but it works fine with a mouse and keyboard. I really like it from a quick fire RTS perspective. Don't expect to be having like massive hour-long sessions with this game. It's not designed for that. But for what it is designed for, it does very well. A written review will be available over at higherplanegames.com later on this week. And until then, make sure you stay tuned on Higher Plane Games for more gaming stuff. Bye for now. This channel is just one of my many projects that cover games, music and film. If you enjoy any of these and would consider supporting me to develop further in the future, you can do so by visiting patreon.com/Satorimon. Thank you for your time and for watching the video.